Wyden.
Thank you, Senator Manchin. And Governor, welcome. And it's a pleasure to have you on a day when the Biden administration is coming out swinging on climate change. And as governor, you worked relentlessly on this issue so clean energy can create more high-skill, high-wage jobs. And it's jobs that I'm going to focus on. After Oregonians battled brutal wildfires in the fall of 2020, I was asked often about my 21st century Civilian Conservation Corps legislation that would put thousands of people to work in the woods in a dozen ways that address the effects of climate change. Now, we learned today that the President is considering creating a climate change corps, which is on the same page as our discussion in the Pacific Northwest. Now, at the Department of Energy, you would have the ability to do daring, cutting-edge research that can arm our climate change and conservation fighters with the smartest science-based strategies for reducing carbon in our communities. I know you're up for this, and I'd like to hear a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, and I'm very excited to be able to take technology to scale. So, for example, off of the West Coast and Alaska, and Senator Murkowski and I talked about this as well, and in Washington State, you've got an amazing coastline, and you've got amazing waves. And so to have offshore wind be an opportunity for us to gain clean energy is huge. But the shelf is very steep. And so the next wave potentially of technology for offshore is perhaps on platforms. Perhaps they're platforms that have been built by those who also built oil rigs. So there's an opportunity for diversification. Or hydrokinetic energy, wave power, another technology that I think would put people to work, whether it's the climate core, which I'm very excited about as well, or people who have been displaced by the changes to our economy. The bottom line is technology, whether it is wind or next generation solar or utility scale battery technology coming out of the laboratories, or battery technology for vehicles, or geothermal, or you name it. It is very exciting to be able to imagine not just the idea, but the deployment of this technology and put people to work and generate clean energy.
I've got another question, but I just want to make it clear that I think the important work that is being done on climate, our 21st century Civilian Conservation Corps, is an ideal fit with the cutting-edge research that you're doing at the Department of Energy that will arm our climate warriors and mobilize our communities to help us reduce these horrendous fires that we're seeing. I'm going to turn to the issue of Hanford. As you know, Senator Cantwell and I care deeply about this issue because the Columbia River, which Hanford adjoins, is our lifeblood. And here's the problem. We have spent billions and billions of dollars to turn the toxic waste into material that can be stored safely, but not a single ounce of waste has actually been treated. And so what happens is we have all these failures, and then what happens is people just kind of kick the can down the road. So we have talk about approaches like new tanks to temporarily secure the waste, or something called grouting, which keeps the waste in place. And we need to really have a concrete, specific game plan to complete this decades-long effort and actually deal with the safety that people in Oregon and Washington in particular deserve. And Senator Cantwell's been doing good work on this for years, and we work in partnership on it. Your thoughts, what are we going to do to finally deal with safety and protect the people in the Northwest against basically what has just been a kicking the can down the road strategy?
Thank you, Senator Wyden, and thank you, Senator Cantwell, for your discussion with me yesterday on this as well. I am well aware this is the largest and longest cleanup project that has occurred.
It is the longest running battle since the Trojan War.
And you're right that we cannot kick it down the road, that we have to take steps every single year to address this issue. I know it is complex, and I appreciated the conversation that I had with Senator Cantwell yesterday in discussing some of the steps that have been taken, but there are so many more that need to be taken. So you have my assurance, both of you, that this is going to be a priority. I know that every energy secretary who has come up for confirmation has asked this question, and they all say it is a priority, and I know it is complicated, but I also know that we have seen some positive steps in the past few years in terms of carving out pieces, taking care of the lowest hanging fruit. We still have some very difficult, highly radioactive waste that we have to deal with, but the bottom line is I will make sure that this is high level in the department, and I look forward to working with you on it.
Hearing that it's urgent business for you is what the people of the Pacific Northwest want to hear. Thank you.